हाय फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू आवर चैनल मेंटरिंग माइंड्स विद अजय शर्मा। अब तक हमने डेप्रिसिएशन के कंसेप्ट्स काफी अच्छे से समझ लिए हैं। हमने लेजर पोस्टिंग करना सीख लिया है। ऑल्सो वी हैव अंडरस्टूड अबाउट स्ट्रेट लाइन मेथड। आज हम कुछ नया कंसेप्ट करने जा रहे हैं। द कंसेप्ट इज नथिंग बट द कंसेप्ट ऑन जर्नल एंट्रीज। तो किस तरह से ये जर्नल एंट्रीज लिखी जाती हैं, बेसिकली ये जर्नल एंट्रीज हमारे दिमाग में ही चलती हैं, बट दीज एंट्रीज वी आर जस्ट गोइंग टू पोस्ट इट। सो आज का सेशन विल बी यूनिक वन वेयर दे आर नॉट आस्किंग अस टू प्रिपेयर लेजर अकाउंट, बट दे आर आस्किंग अस टू प्रिपेयर journal entry. So let's see how are we going to write the journal entries in the books of a particular company or a particular firm. So here today's session is on journal entry based on fixed installment method. We are aware fixed installment method is also known as your straight line method. Before proceeding ahead, let us recall the rules of debit and credit. We are aware there are two approaches for the rules of debit and credit. One is the traditional, the other one is modern approach. As per traditional approach, accounts are classified into three categories, that is personal, real and nominal. We are also aware with the rule, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. While there is also one more approach called as modern approach. As per modern approach, accounts are basically classified into four categories, that is asset, liability, expense and income. And basically here the rule is for increase and decrease. We are aware debit all assets and liability assets while credit all liabilities. If there is increase in the value of asset, we are going to debit, and if there is decrease in the value of asset, will credit. Increase in liability should be credited while decrease in liability should be debited. So ये rules हमें already पता है. Now such type of sum they are going to give it to us in our exam. अब ये क्वेश्चन कितने मार्क का आ सकता है? हमारे एग्जाम में ये 8 मार्क, 10 मार्क, 12 मार्क के ये क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं. सो बी श्योर कि आपके कैलकुलेशन सही है, आपकी एंट्री सही है, and the process for recording the entry you are following. Here, Rasila Traders Gujarat purchased a machine for rupees 80,000 on 1st April 2020. On 1st October 2021, the firm purchased an additional machinery costing rupees 20,000. On 1st January 2023, the machine purchased on 1st October 2021 became obsolete, पुरानी हो गई, and was sold at a loss of rupees 2,500. On the same day, another machine costing rupees 48,000 was purchased as replacement. Depreciation was provided annually on 31st March, the rate of 10% per annum on the fixed installment method. Pass journal entry in the books of Rasila Traders for the period from 2020-21 to 21-22 and 22-23. 3 साल के लिए इन्होंने जर्नल एंट्री पास करने के लिए कहा है. We are aware the very first step that we are going to do is to prepare the timeline. Timeline से हमें ये पता चल जाता है कि असेट कब खरीदी है, कब बेची है और कितना हमें कंसिडर करना है for the month of depreciation calculation. So here in the first year, our first year is 1st April 2020. So year starts on 1st April 2020, ends on 31st March. Starts on 1st April 21, ends on 31st March. Starts on 1st April 22, ends on 31st March 23. In the first year, on 1st April, we are purchasing asset. हम asset खरीद रहे हैं, ठीक है. कितने की asset खरीदी? सर 80,000 की asset. Fine. On 1st October 2021, फर्स्ट ईयर में आएगा या सेकेंड ईयर में? सर 1st October 21 will come after 1st April 21, तो ये सेकेंड ईयर में आने वाला है. In the second year, we are also purchasing the second asset for 20,000. Now on 1st January 23, क्या ये थर्ड ईयर में आएगा या फोर्थ ईयर में? नहीं सर, 1st January 23 comes before 31st March. Yes, so it's the third year. In the third year, we have purchased, we have sold the machine. Which machine? The machine which was purchased on 1st October. तो जरा चेक कीजिए, 1 अक्टूबर को फर्स्ट मशीन खरीदी थी या सेकेंड मशीन? सर हमने तो सेकेंड मशीन खरीदी थी, ठीक है। दिस सेकेंड मशीन वी आर सेलिंग इट, बट यहां तो सेल वैल्यू दिया ही नहीं है सर। मतलब here it has become obsolete and was sold at a loss. So here it's a tricky sum. In this sum, instead of giving the sale value, they have given us the loss value. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं। The loss on sale of second asset is 2,500, and on the same day we are also purchasing another asset for 48,000. So in short, we are having three assets purchased in 3 different years, and also we have sold the asset in the last year. ठीक है सर। So now let us consider the time period for calculation of depreciation. So first asset we are utilizing it for 12 months in the first year. In the second year we are purchasing one more asset. तो पहली asset हमने 12 महीना यूज करी, and second asset we have purchased on 1st October. So 1st October से 31st March there are 6 months. Then first asset we are utilizing it for 12 months. That is second asset we are selling it for 9 months. That is after 9 months we are selling the second asset. Fine. Now, first asset we are utilizing it for 12 months, while the third asset we have purchased on 1st January. तो जब थर्ड asset हमने खरीदी 1st January में, we have utilized it for 3 months. So we'll charge depreciation for 3 months. Great. तो अब हमें टाइम पीरियड के बारे में पता चल गया कि how much will be the time consideration for calculation of depreciation. Now, the next step is calculating depreciation. So now we'll prepare the table for calculating depreciation. So let's see, in the first year, we are purchasing asset on 1st April. The cost of asset is 80,000. Check out, in the second year, the date of asset purchase is 1st October and the value is 20,000. In the third year, we have purchased the asset on 1st January. The value is 48,000. Now, at the end of the first year, there is only one asset with us. So 10% of 80,000 is 8,000. We'll find out the written down value as on 1st April, which is 72. In the second year, we have purchased the asset. So now at the end of the year, there are two assets with us. First, let us do the total of depreciation, which is 8,000, and here 72. In the second year, there are two assets with us. So here 10% of 80,000. Since under fixed installment method, depreciation is charged on original cost. That's why we'll take 8,000. And here 10% of 20,000 is 2,000. But this depreciation is for 12 months. So for 6 months, the amount of depreciation is 1,000. 1,000 6 महीने का depreciation होगा. So let us find out the written down value. 72,000 में से 8,000 अगर हम माइनस करेंगे तो होता है 64, and here 19,000. Now we'll do the total of depreciation, which is 9, and here it is 83,000. In the third year, we are selling the asset. हम ये सेकंड एसेट बेच रहे हैं, तो पहले हम ये सेकंड एसेट के कैलकुलेशंस कर लेते हैं. Here on 1st January, we are selling the asset. So first let us calculate depreciation for 9 months. Here 10% of 20,000 we have to consider. And why is it so? Because we are selling the second asset. Fine. So 10% of 20,000 is 2,000. This 2,000 is the depreciation for 12 months. तो 12 महीने का 2,000, तो 6 महीने का will be half of it, 1,000. 6 महीने का 1,000, तो 3 महीने का सर half of it यानी 500. 6 plus 3 is 9, तो 1,000 plus 500 is 1,500. This is how we are there to calculate depreciation on the second asset. Majority बच्चों की गलती होती है कि where they do calculation in the first asset. The reason is that generally first asset is sold, first asset is sold. In this case, we find the second asset was sold in the middle. Fine. So here the amount of depreciation is 1,500. Less करेंगे तो book value is 17,500. ये 17,500 की asset हमने लॉस में बेची. सर लॉस में यानी ज्यादा में बेची होगी या कम में बेची है? सर कम में बेची है. So here the book value is 17,500 and the loss is 2,500. तो हमने इसे कितने में बेचा? 15,000 में या 20,000 में? सर हियर इन दिस केस हम इसे लॉस में बेच रहे हैं, तो ऑब्वियसली द सेलिंग प्राइस विल बी स्मॉलर एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी आर गोइंग टू सब्ट्रैक्ट इट। तो आंसर आ जाएगा 15,000। 15,000 विल बी द सेल प्रोसीड। कितना इजी। नाउ एट द एंड ऑफ द ईयर टू असेट्स आर लेफ्ट आउट। These two assets per we are going to charge depreciation. First asset will charge depreciation for 12 months, which is 8,000. And here the third asset which we are using it for 3 months. So कैसे calculate करेंगे? 48,000 is the depreciation. 10% will be 4,800. 4,800 12 महीने का, तो 6 महीने का 2,400 और 3 महीने का 2,400 का आधा 1,200. So 1,200 is the amount of depreciation. So we'll subtract and find out the written down value 56 and here as 46,800. हम total add करेंगे depreciation को, so it's 9,200 and here 1,12,800. कितना easy. So after completing the second step, now the third step is about the processing. Let's see here in the first year the total amount of depreciation is 8,000 and the written down value is 72. Here they have asked us to prepare journal entry. तो journal entry के लिए सिर्फ हमें depreciation की values चाहिए, not we require any written down value. ठीक है. So here we are going to draw the format of journal entry. हमें पता है journal entry के format में 5 columns आते हैं: date, particulars, LF, debit and credit. LF stands for ledger folio. Folio यानी page number. Now whatever the journal entry is there which is going on in our mind, the same we are going to place it here. तो सर क्या क्या journal entry हमारे दिमाग में चलती है? पहला we are purchasing the asset. हम asset खरीद रहे हैं, तो when you are purchasing asset, asset comes in because asset is a real account. So here machinery debit and cash goes out. So journal entry will write on 1st April 2020 machinery account debit for 90,000 and cash account credit for 90,000. And here remember we have to write narration. So narration, let's say we can write in short, being asset purchased or being machinery purchased for cash. Now throughout the year we are going to utilize the asset and at the end of the year we are going to charge depreciation. So depreciation की journal entry is depreciation on machinery. So depreciation is a loss. The same working जो हमारे दिमाग में चल रही है, same we are going to place it here. So entry is depreciation account debit 8,000 to machinery. And last one, transfer entry. We'll do transferring of, we also write narration being depreciation provided. Here transfer of depreciation will do transfer to profit and loss account. So at the end of the year, since it's an expense for 1 year, we will transfer it to profit and loss. So profit and loss to depreciation. So here the same entry we are going to write on 31st March 2021, profit and loss account debit, which is 8,000 to depreciation. Narration भी हम लिख देंगे being depreciation transferred. So first year, basically there are only 3 journal entries for purchase of asset, for charging depreciation and for transfer of depreciation. Let's say in the second year, have we purchased the asset? Yes sir. क्या हमने कोई asset बेची है? नहीं सर. तो basically same entries are going to come by changing the values. खाली values change होने वाली है और ऐसी ही entries आएंगी. ठीक है. So let us understand in the second year the amount of depreciation is 9,000 and while the written down value is 83,000. Great. So let's see, here we are purchasing asset. So asset purchase करेंगे तो asset आएगी या जाएगी? सर आएगी और cash जाएगा. See in the second year we are purchasing machinery. So machinery account debit on 1st October to cash account 20,000. Narration, same type of narration we are going to write being asset purchased. Now we are going to charge depreciation at the end of the year. अब हमारे पास 2 asset है, right? First asset and second, the total depreciation is 9,000. Journal entry is depreciation to machinery. Fine sir. Same entry we are going to write at the end of the year. हम लिखेंगे 31st March 2022 depreciation account debit to machinery account. Narration being depreciation provided or being depreciation charged. जो अच्छा लगे हम लिख सकते हैं. The third is transfer of this depreciation to profit and loss. So profit and loss to depreciation. Same entry we are going to write here, profit and loss to depreciation account. Now in the third year, narration being depreciation transferred. In the third year, we are selling the asset. So first we will write the entry for sale of asset. Next we are going to write the entry for purchase of asset. And lastly we are going to write the entry for depreciation and transfer. So चार journal entries आ जाएंगी. Let's see here. In the third year we are selling the asset. So depreciation value is 1500. The sale value is 15,000, while loss or profit on sale, here there is loss 2,500. So in the last year, we are going to pass the entry on 1st January. So we are charging depreciation. Entry is depreciation to machinery. The same we are going to write it here. Depreciation to machinery. This is depreciation on assets sold. याद रहे, being depreciation provided or charged. Then we are going to sell the asset. Asset आ रही है या जा रही है? सर जा रही है. And cash आ रहा है. So cash account debit to machinery. The same entry we are going to write it here. जो हमारे दिमाग में चल रहा है वही चीजें हमें यहां पर लिखनी है. It's like a normal process जो हम करते हैं. ठीक है. So normal process is we are selling the asset and we are getting the cash. कैश आ रहा है इसीलिए कैश डेबिट करेंगे, मशीन जा रही है इसलिए मशीन क्रेडिट करेंगे. बिकॉज असेट इज रिड्यूसिंग, असेट कम होते जा रही है. नरेशन बीइंग असेट सोल्ड. ऑन द असेट सोल्ड देयर इज लॉस एंड लॉस इज टू बी डेबिटेड. सो लॉस अकाउंट डेबिट, दैट इज लॉस ऑन सेल ऑफ मशीनरी अकाउंट टू मशीनरी अकाउंट. द सेम एंट्री वी आर गोइंग टू राइट इट हियर. 2500 का लॉस. नाउ आफ्टर सेलिंग द असेट, क्या हमने कोई असेट परचेज करी? यस सर, वी हैव परचेज द असेट. देख लीजिए, वी हैव परचेज एन असेट फॉर 48,000. सो विल चार्ज डेप्रिसिएशन एट द एंड ऑफ द ईयर, दैट इज 9,200 एंड द रिटन डाउन वैल्यू इज 1,12,800. फाइन सर. तो अब क्या करेंगे? वी विल पास द रिमेनिंग एंट्रीज. फर्स्ट वी आर परचेजिंग द एसेट, सो जर्नल एंट्री इज मशीनरी टू कैश. द सेम वी आर गोइंग टू राइट इट हियर. Machinery to cash, that is being asset purchased. Now at the end of the year we are going to charge depreciation, so entry will be depreciation to machinery. The same entry we are going to write it along with the narration. Now the next entry is transfer of depreciation. So this depreciation we are going to transfer it to profit and loss. The entry is profit and loss to depreciation. But remember, when we say about profit and loss, we have to transfer the total amount of depreciation. The first depreciation was 1500 and now the total depreciation is 9,200. So total of 1,500 plus 9,200 is 10,700. This depreciation we have transferred it to profit and loss account. Also there is one more entry that we should transfer to profit and loss, is loss on sale of asset. So loss is also transferred to profit and loss on debit side. So profit and loss account debit to loss on sale of machinery account. Same entry we are going to write it here, to loss on sale of machinery account of 2,500. Narration being loss transferred. And then at the end we are going to do the total of journal. So we understood, dear student, how we are going to pass the journal entries when these all calculations are given it to us. Now the last one, let me ask two questions over on this topic. So let's see. Sale of asset cannot be done at a loss. Is the statement true or false? सेल ऑफ एसेट कैनॉट बी डन एट अ लॉस. क्या असेट हम लॉस पे बेच नहीं सकते? सर ये तो क्लियर सी बात है. इट्स अ फॉल्स स्टेटमेंट बिकॉज असेट कैन बी सोल्ड एट प्रॉफिट, इट कैन बी सोल्ड एट लॉस, इट कैन बी सोल्ड एट नो प्रॉफिट नो लॉस. नाउ डेप्रिसिएशन अमाउंट चार्ज्ड ऑन अ मशीनरी विल बी डेबिटेड टू विच अकाउंट? हमने जो डेप्रिसिएशन चार्ज किया ऑन मशीनरी वो हम किस पर डेबिट करेंगे? विल इट बी डेबिटेड टू मशीनरी अकाउंट or will it be debited to depreciation account? Yes, the answer is it's a depreciation account. So depreciation is charged on machinery and that's why depreciation reduces the value of asset, and that's why we are going to debit depreciation account. So in today's session, we understood about the journal entries, the posting of journal entries in the books of the firm. So I hope today's session you understood nicely. So keep watching, keep learning, keep growing, mentoring minds. By the time, take care.